Presidential candidate was addressing thousands of supporters at Nyadri Urban Secondary School playgrounds. Beneficiaries of the Presidential Scaling Hub initiative pleaded for startup capital following the completion of a 6-month training course. To Museveni's surprise, the beneficiaries were unaware of a SACCO fund he had directed to be set up just a month ago to support them.
The NRM presidential candidate, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has campaigned in Maracha and Koboko districts, still in West Nile sub-region. In Maracha, the president, alongside the First Lady, was welcomed by thousands of the supporters at Nyadri Urban Secondary School playgrounds. Museveni turned his rally into an impromptu anti-corruption probe after concerns were raised on the Presidential Industrial Hub SACCO funds. The president publicly questioned the Deputy Resident District Commissioner Monica Koliba the whereabouts of the SACCO funds.
Let me prosecute your RDC. I'm the lawyer on your behalf. RDC, come. Now, RDC, these people want to kill you Why can't you defend yourself better? The question is, the money was sent to an account in the bank here in the district. Where is that account? What is the account?
Your Excellency, I want to say the total number of beneficiaries.
No, the account number in the bank. Which bank and
in Centenary Bank.
Now, before we arrest the lady, before we arrest her, she has now told us that the account is in Centenary Bank, in Maracha here.
Centenary Bank here.
In Maracha here, not in Arua, not where, but here. Is it here?
We don't have, Your Excellency, there is no bank in Maracha district, so our banks are in Arua, City, or in Koboko.
Okay. It is in Centenary Bank. In which branch now?
Your Excellency, the total number of our children who have been trained
the account number.
He then tasked NRM National Vice Chairperson for Northern Uganda, Hamson Oboa, to investigate the matter, and later the funds were still intact at the bank.
2, he has confirmed that there exists an account named Maracha District Presidential Industrial Hub SACCO Limited. He confirmed that on the 22nd of September, the above account received 50 million Uganda shillings under.
Museveni outlined some of the gains that the people of Maracha and West Nile at large should be proud of protecting, such as the Karuma Power Project, the Pakwach Arua Maracha Koboko Road connecting West Nile to the national grid, peace and security.
Arua is growing and needs more power.
Arua is in West Nile,
so that's why we have been able to bring a very strong current from Karuma now, 132 kV all the way to here. So for us, we don't do things just because of politics, wanting to please people even when things are wrong. It's very dangerous. Cheap popularity.
in the me ngondiki aleni dalere ku NRM wa dalere yo.
We were telling people that the power will come, but let's move according to the plan.
The president also pledged to construct primary and secondary schools in sub-counties and parishes that currently lack them.
There are also other private schools, but those are
School wazi bani do inisini tikivini aleni aliati.
for the people with the money.
Nezukini emi da send of aleni atiti.
Now, the Maracha has got 91 parishes.
Maratadia pariski amavu kalioron dinialo.
With 34 hosting at least one government primary school.
Primary school amavu de ariki kalina dinisu.
So we have another 34 parishes which don't have primary schools.
Museveni asked voters in Marata to support NRM for continued development. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Marata.
President Yoweri Museveni early this evening addressed a Koboko district campaign rally at Ombachi Playground, putting an emphasis on wealth creation as well as consolidating what has so far been secured mainly in education, health and infrastructure. Take a watch.
As early as 10 a.m. of Tuesday, 14th October 2025, long queues of NRM supporters in Koboko district have started forming up and all heading to Ombachi Playgrounds. At the venue, artists led by Idris Musuza alias Eddie Kenzo welcomed supporters with entertainment. For Ministers Evelyn Anite served entertainment at a free cost as they waited for the president. In the evening hours, President Museveni made a grand entry to Ombachi grounds. As soon as candidate Museveni took up his seat, the rally officially kicked off.
I'd like to remind the people of Koboko and all the NRM supporters that the conversations for the campaign is going to move at the parish level. We want to thank you for giving peace, for giving peace talks, for giving dialogue a chance, and for speaking to West Nile Bank Front.
The connection of Koboko district to the national power grids and upgrade of major roads are among those many achievements registered under the NRM. In terms of placements to government offices, the district is thankful to the president.
Thank you for the appointment of our daughters and sons. I want to begin with my sister, Hajati Medina Ojale.
Museveni is campaigning in West Nile alongside the First Lady, Kataha Museveni.
The chairman said that they give 89% to NRM. Koboko give 90% to NRM behind President Museveni and the rest of lineup for NRM.
So that people say Museveni was also a candidate. You must have very strong reasons why you come out and say, you people support me, support my party.
Kataha Museveni is currently Uganda's education and sports minister.
I have not seen any other district reporting on school facility grants and what it does in their district. Koboko report is reporting that SFG renovates primary schools.
While addressing the Koboko rally, Museveni continued to discourage voters against sectarian politics.
It is true that the NRM has brought peace for the first time in 500 years. And it is not an accident that NRM has brought peace. The peace has been because of 3 points. And this point is that NRM rejects and rejected the politics of sectarianism, of religion, tribe, or gender chauvinism.
Although the NRM government has registered progress in both social and economic infrastructure, according to Museveni, the focus is now on wealth creation.
There's a good tarmac road here. The question is, do you sleep on the tarmac road at night? And the poverty you left at home is still waiting for you. When you go back, you'll find the poverty you left in the morning waiting for you.
With the recruitment of more teachers in the coming term of office, Museveni says education should be free for all, mainly in all government primary schools.
The teachers are using the excuse of not having enough teachers, so they hire extra teachers. I will recruit additional 50,000 teachers in the primary school so that there's no need to hire teachers privately.
At 5 p.m. of Tuesday, 14th October 2025, President Museveni ended Koboko campaign rally.
I ask all of you to vote for the NRM. Vote for the NRM, the old man with the hat, and for the NRM flag bearers. NRM oye!
NRM oye!
Koboko oye!
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
I will remain with the NRM presidential candidate momentarily, where leaders and locals of Koboko district have pledged an over 93% support for President Yoweri Museveni come 2026. They cite extended power, road infrastructure development, and sustained peace as some of the reasons for this bloc position. They sounded this on the sidelines of the NRM rally in Koboko municipality Tuesday evening. Henry Okrut reports.
These leaders and locals may be many in number, but are speaking with the same political voice. This is to the effect that President Yoweri Museveni is still the deal for Uganda's topmost job.
Business is booming in the region, and Koboko in particular is a major route to South Sudan. So because of that, and because the president has carried the people like his own, they have no option but to vote him and vote him overwhelmingly.
They had predicted that in 2021, President Museveni will get 67%, and we got it. Now the prediction for the entire West Nile is 93% in the whole of West Nile. My own prediction is that we will get 90%, because I have never seen, I've done mobilization in West Nile. This is unprecedented.
This unanimous support comes at a time when socio-economic transformation has been extended to the West Nile area, including access to power.
In Koboko district, almost all the parishes in Koboko district have primary schools. All the sub-counties have secondary, at least all the sub-counties have secondary schools, and the city schools are being constructed in other sub-counties. So people are very grateful with the development in the education sector.
We have a blood bank, a new one, that is waiting to be commissioned, meaning we shall be able to collect our blood from within West Nile, process it, store it, ready.
This they attribute to sustained peace in the area they say was once known for generating refugees into exile.
There is a place called Salam Masala at the border of Koboko, Uganda and DRC Congo. When you go to such a border, you see why the people of Koboko should vote for NRM. Because of the peace, stability, and the freedom of movement in the area.
But also the peace and security I'm talking about has to be maintained, guaranteed and sustained. And the NRM government yet again is saying that is our very important pillar, and we are going to ensure that it is guaranteed.
So they expect much more development, including the Juakari program of the Ministry of Gender.
In the workshop, we have knitting and weaving, tailoring. We also have designing machines, and we are wishing him to help us with more things the Office of Labor and Gender. We really thank for them so much for the wonderful they have done for us to have that kind of support to make us to live in a better way.
The main road you see, Koboko Yumbe Moyo, is already going to be tarmac. The contractor is already negotiating with the district to ensure that all plans are put in place for this road to be worked on.
And we are confident that with this move, we are going to get a very big percentage. NRM is going to win with a big percentage this time in West Nile.
The NRM's presidential candidate's message has inspired many as political campaigns continue. Henry Okrut, UBC in Koboko.
Still with presidential campaigns, and now let's shift our attention and go to Zimbabwe, where Alliance for National Transformation ANT flag bearer, General Retired Mugisha Muntu has spent day 3 in Zimbabwe district of Greater Masaka. While there, residents reported land grabbing by powerful individuals, lack of clean water, and drug theft at government facilities. Haruna Mtesasira is in Zimbabwe and sent us this report.
General Mugisha Muntu has spent the day rallying support for his presidential bid in Zimbabwe district.
Abasawo zisasura abakorera government zisasure abagara pension zabo ezibibwa nayo kozese sente ezo kyagara zikozesebwe abantu abakiriza mukore ebintu mu ngeri y'obwerufu.
His campaigns were disrupted by a heavy downpour and bad roads, especially in Kalama along Ntusi. Here, General Muntu pushed his publicity car in company of his entire security team. It took some hours before maneuvering through the mud road.
The areas which have been supportive of the movement tend to be the ones which are least developed in terms of infrastructure.
During his campaign in Matete, residents reported land grabbing in Zimbabwe district, which has led to disputes and violence, thereby threatening livelihoods of many residents.
Kuli kizibu ekiri mu Uganda ekitasobola okugonjoolwa kubanga nga bwe mbabuulidde ezo esente ez'ezzaabu, esente ez'amafuta, esente eza rare earth oba ettaka ery'enjawulo bye mbabuuliddeko, ebyo byo esente ezivaamu zisobola zokka nga totaddeko esente eziva abalala ng'emmwanyi by'obulambuzi zisobola okusasula amabanja ga Uganda ne gaggwa, zisobola okutuusa eddagala mu malwaliro, zisobola okusasula abasomesa, zisasule abasawo.
The district has seen a surge in land disputes, with mostly Bibanja holding falling.
Kaina sente kati ennaku zino mu mbeera ya General Museveni ow'esente n'ow'emundu bafuuse nga Katonda asobola okujja akujje mu ttaka lyo twena w'oddukira kubanga enguzi ewambye eggwanga lyaffe okyagendamu abo abanoonyereza emisango bawambibwa ssente oti akusinza ssente agenda kugula.
Muntu said that residents of Zimbabwe need a change, and his message of hope and transformation gave them the hope. Lack of clean water is a pressing issue in many areas of Zimbabwe district. Residents have to walk long distances to access boreholes. General Muntu's campaign promises to improve water supply systems and infrastructure development to alleviate the suffering of people residing in Mitete, Rwebitakuli, and Remiaga. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
To Kapchora now, where Forum for Democratic Change FDC presidential candidate Nathan Nandala Mafabi has promised vendors who were affected by a fire that gutted merchandise at Kapchora market that he will secure operating space for them. Mafabi was holding his campaign rally at Kapchora town Boma grounds. Farida Nafka reports.
The FDC presidential candidate Nathan Nandala Mafabi has held a convoy and foot procession in Kapchora town, first heading to the direction of the Kapchora main market, where he was denied access by police, then headed for his rally at the Boma grounds. Mafabi attracted crowds in this group, including affected market vendors who carried a placard showing their grievances and asking for support.
Thank you so much.
Here, Mafabi promised vendors support to get a market where to operate. Accordingly, since their market caught fire, many have been operating on the streets or in market shift setups. The municipal council has not improvised for them.
The insurance company would have built the market. If it wasn't insured by government, then the government immediately should have taken corrective action to rebuild the market. They have not done it. That means they are insensitive to the people of Kapchora. You need a government which belongs to you.
The candidate commenced his campaign rallies in Bulambuli, Kamu Market in Bugisu sub-region. At Bugimotwa Primary School grounds in Kabenywa sub-county Kapchora district, Mafabi was welcomed by pupils of the school. The presidential candidate has spent the day making stoppings at different points in Kapchora and Bulambuli district, soliciting for votes.
And we do hope that none of that commotion will be, witnessed in other campaign rallies. Over to the NUP camp now, where the National Unity Platform NUP presidential candidate Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu, while campaigning in the Bukedia region covering Chibuku and Butaleja districts, has promised the residents that his government will ensure that all Ugandans receive fair and equal access to public services. He also urged citizens to embrace the national flag as a symbol of unity and the new Uganda he envisions, while calling on all Ugandans to vote for NUP candidates at all levels.
Chagulanyi Robert Sentamu, who spent the night at Ritz Hotel in Mbale town, drew crowds early in the morning, eager to see him before heading out for his campaign rallies. The situation prompted security to step in and manage his movement towards Kibuku, where he held his first rally. Along the way, Chagulanyi was greeted by groups of excited supporters while waving flags. At Kagumu Playground in Chibuku District, the new leader was joined by several party members, pledging full support for his 2026 presidential bid. In his address, Kyagulanyi thanked the youth, whose commitment demonstrates the true spirit of the movement. Kyagulanyi also encouraged citizens to embrace the national flag as a sign of patriotism and hope for a transformed nation. Tomorrow, Kyagulanyi heads to Manafwa and Namisindwa districts.
Super, wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. Wali yakapia. MTN kabode super mustairo mpia. Vibe mpia. Then you kabode smartphone nebi yakabibiona. Wali yakapia. MTN kabode super mustairo mpia. Vibe mpia. Then you kabode smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for Silk Vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical-looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person who recommends me to another person who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
nateranga nyingiro n'abanafa ba MTN wanje MTN walalo MTN gamba ki to get the power to win njagala ofune lyanyi okuwangula ogenda kuwangula ota ngenda kubanga obukadde 10 buli wiki wanje ngenda kubanga kwasa obukadde 10 buli wiki ku simu ye nyinyi kyabonka kimuchoka line ya MTN bana beka buli ogenda okusasula ekintu kyonna ogenda okusasula ndakwese momo obulya buli ogenda okusasula ngenda kyosasula kyonna kozesa momo oyinza okubanga ngenda kwewola kasente kozesa momo wanje ogenda kuinvestinga kozesa momo abwe MTN we jamani nekwa bukadde 10 buli wiki wala kastelyo bimala bwe pala wentandika ngamba kyekiriwo wanje nenkwata ku masimu ngamba halo walirudawa tenze tirinyi halo walirudawa zende guru halo walirudawa ndi mutukula halo oliwa ndi mwanange ndi wano mu office ntode nyiga ma computer nenkuta awa namwe kasana benesi okuberanga mwana wote koze ebintu n'amanga epeyinze ebolowinze investinze ngekozesa momo. Remember to dial *165# or use the Momo app to borrow, to pay, to invest, and you could stand a chance to win 10 million weekly.
Welcome back, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. A warm welcome to those of you just joining us. Moving on, the Uganda National Examinations Board has declared no alternative of supporting students of Creamfield Vocational Senior School of sitting for UCE exams. The body's spokesperson, Jennifer Kalule Musamba, says these are not known by UNEB and were scammed by the school managers, and the board has no option apart from advising them to wait for next year.
This is Creamfield Vocational Senior School located in Nagala Town Council in Kama village. The school was abandoned by proprietors and its managers and accused of failing to register senior 4 students after collecting registration fees from them.
On the briefing day, we was not there. The old teachers, they took off. On the visitation day, the parents came here. When they are asking our index numbers, we were not have index numbers.
The school is in shambles with the wreckages of some scholastic materials which were scrambled by protesting students. We found Sengoba Jawahal, a senior 4 student, and a victim of the scam, is planning to go back home upon the closure of the school by the Mukono RDC during the fracas.
Now I decided to stay in this place here so that they can call me and we go.
Sengoba narrates what he has gone through with colleagues while trying to secure UCE exams.
Batugamba bali baregisteringako basatu abalala nga tewali suubi naye nga batugumya bugumya buli we tugezaako okubanja index numbers ezo batugamba musooke mumaleyo fees then tubawet index number.
Out of the 18 candidates of Creamfield Vocational Senior School, only 3 were registered by the school at the nearby UNEB Center.
Era essuubi lituli mu kitongole ekiddukanya ebyenjigiriza mu ggwanga lyonna okutuyamba tewali mulala.
The Ugandan National Examinations Board is puzzled with the situation because the school is not registered with valid center number to hold UCE exams.
Unfortunately, this school is not in our database. It means we don't have a center number. So it becomes very hard for us to track these learners. We don't know anything about these learners because they do not even have their scores for continuous assessment. And under the new curriculum, the learners should have continuous assessment scores.
UNEB confirms no window for these students since it has no data linking them to the examination body. These are advised to wait till next year for UCE exams.
So we want to encourage the parents and the candidates. Next year, they can still register for the examinations next year. And in case they have scores for continuous assessment for the project, then we shall maintain those scores. So they want to repeat senior 4, and we shall maintain the CS scores.
The board has registered other occurrences during the examination, like in Achifuma again, 2 students involved in accident and are in critical conditions unable to write papers. In Kasese district, 1 student was isolated with mpox and cannot sit for examinations.
It was still a severe case of mpox, so they were also advised to repeat because they could not get in here. They were in isolation and they could not now get into the mainstream to do exams with all the others.
UNEB admits for not spreading information to the public, especially on how to track registered students.
So we've been trying, we really tried our best. Yes, we can do better, but I think what we need to do is the parents themselves need to be involved. As a parent, when you have a candidate, please, can you confirm that your child is registered? We are going to improve and see that next time we shall do our best to use multiple means.
Police are hunting the proprietor of Creamfield Vocational Senior School, Muhammad Semfuka, and his deputy, and the school bursar Ramadan Muongi. The school is currently abandoned. All students in other classes also have disappeared. Abdul Nasir Lubwama and Rogers Komagum for UBC.
The acting permanent secretary and secretary to the Treasury has briefed the press on the Quarter 2 expenditure releases for the financial year 2025-2026. Kailap said the economy grew by 6.3% in fiscal year 2024-2025, up from 61% the previous year, with the size of the economy in nominal terms increasing to 227.88 trillion shillings from 203.71 trillion shillings in fiscal year 2023-2024.
The acting secretary to the Treasury, Patrick Ochailab, explained that out of the Uganda shilling 72.38 trillion approved for the financial year, 20.18 trillion was released in the first quarter and 18.43 trillion in the second quarter, bringing the cumulative release to 38.61 trillion shillings, presenting 53.4% of the approved budget.
We allocated 7.07 trillion for debt and treasury operations. We allocated under this category 2.132 trillion to cater for wages and salaries, as I mentioned briefly, 339 billion for pension and gratuity, Parliamentary Commission 223.64 billion, Judiciary 64.06 billion. That's under statutory obligations.
Ochailab noted that Uganda's economy continues to expand despite the challenging global environment marked by tighter financial conditions and geopolitical tensions that have disrupted supply chains in recent years.
The composite index of economic activity, which measures the overall level of economic activity, was recorded at 179.4% in August 2025, an improvement from 179.3% in the previous month. Additionally, the Purchasing Managers Index, which measures the health and activity of the private sector in the economy, also remained above the 50% mark threshold, with a reading of 54 in September 2025.
He added that, similar to the first quarter, government has prioritized funding for the ongoing election season.
Electoral Commission 52.71 billion. This makes a full release to Electoral Commission approved budget for Electoral Commission roadmap, totaling to date 450 billion. We have been releasing because there are accelerated activities for Electoral Commission to conduct the elections.
Patrick Ochailab emphasized that the financial year 2025-2026 budget continues to support government's tenfold growth strategy, which prioritizes agro-industrialization, tourism, mining, and science and technology as key drivers of economic transformation.
Under tourism development, the T in the ATMs, we have released 53.65 billion to Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities and Uganda Tourism Board. These funds are largely financing tourism sector development interventions like branding Uganda and marketing.
Dennis Igoa for UBC.
The First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, has paid tribute to the late world-renowned conservationist, Dr. Jane Goodall, describing her as a woman who dedicated her life to protecting God's creation. The First Lady's message was delivered by the Minister of State for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Martin Mugara Bahinduka, during a Thanksgiving memorial service at All Saints Cathedral here in Kampala.
The memorial service was to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Jane Goodall, a pioneer in chimpanzee research and environmental conservation, representing the First Lady Janet Museveni, describing Dr. Goodall as a loving person who believed in God's vision for a planet where all creation lives in harmony. The message was read by Minister of State for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Martin Mugara Bahinduka. First Lady said Dr. Goodall lived by the creation mandate in the book of Genesis, working to protect and care for the earth as God instructed humankind. Dr. Goodall founded the Ngamba Island Chimpanzee Sanctuary and inspired conservation projects under the Jane Goodall Institute, including community livelihood programs, environmental education, and youth empowerment initiatives. The Uganda Wildlife Authority Board Chairperson, James Kalema, says Uganda has benefited from Dr. Goodall's research and advocacy in wildlife. The Executive Director of the Jane Goodall Institute, James Byabakama, announced a campaign in her honor.
Don't get worried about those floods
about those trees that are cut. If we give nature an opportunity, those floods will what? Will disappear.
Now, with the need to enhance service delivery, the judiciary will launch the Performance Enhancement Tool, PET, that will help to track and improve performance across a judiciary through monitoring how judicial officers and court staff perform. The Performance Enhancement Tool will be launched at the judiciary headquarters in Kampala on Friday this week.
But we cannot continue to cry over cases being caused by many factors. The question would be, you, PS, and you, PRO, you are in the judiciary, find a solution.
Laziness and excuses at work will be no more in the judiciary, following the launch of the Performance Enhanced Tool PET on Friday.
By the way, the elephant in the room, in the judiciary, the elephant in the room is case backlog. If this elephant can be dealt with, then you shall say, we have delivered to the people of Uganda, because people want justice, that is all.
The PET is an online system that will evaluate how judicial officers and court staff perform.
It's about empowering every judicial officer and staff member to perform at their best. It's about instilling a culture of accountability and about ensuring that justice in Uganda is fair, timely, and trustable. The go live of PET is a transformative milestone.
The Performance Enhanced Tool PET initiative will help to fight the prolonged challenge of case backlog and improve service delivery, since the AMOL is the track where the need is required.
The number of parties that we are interested in, number of exhibits, which are key factors that contribute to the performance, and the time you take to dispose of a case, that will require the integration to pick that data from EKIMIS, which is not directly registered in the Performance Enhancement Tool. So the integration is going to happen between EKIMIS and PET.
Users can now contribute to assessing service quality, which will in turn reduce delays, enhance efficiency, and build public trust.
The 360 appraisal model is also aimed at producing measurable outcomes, and the information provided will be confidential.
We've got supervisors, subordinates, the peers, the public, the litigants, the lawyers. That's why I say it is 360 degrees. It will now brings the trust, public trust. It is also going to be very useful to us because of professional development and then training.
The new system is aimed at doing away with the old appraisal system towards officers' performance. Due to limited sources in some courts, this has affected service delivery. But what will be the fate of judicial officers who will fall victims under the new PET initiative?
Everybody will be judged according to the sources available and the situation that is obtaining, so that we give a fair judgment, so that we appraise this person fairly. Otherwise, the number of cases to be delivered, as I told you, the waiting system, the case wait system, is going to answer your question. What it has is the resources available for the cases that you are supposed to have.
According to the judiciary, the system will be available to the public, including court users, lawyers, among others, who will be availed with the codes to access the system. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansuga, UBC News.
We'll remain with the courts of law momentarily, where Buganda Road Magistrates Court has charged and remanded Mulyansaka Charles and Peter Watum with 23 fresh charges of obtaining money by false pretense, uttering false documents and forgery. Meanwhile, attempts to grant bail to Kampala Land Board Chairperson David Balondemu over forged medical documents flopped due to failure by prosecution to disclose the required documents to the defense team.
Mulyansaka Charles alias Dr. Musa Dickens and Watum Peter appeared at Buganda Road Chief Magistrate's Court before Magistrate Ronald Kaizi to answer charges of defrauding an investor, Granman Franken, over $4.9 million. However, before court, the suspects were slapped with more 23 fresh charges of obtaining money by false pretenses, uttering false bank documents, and conspiracy to commit a felony, among other offences.
Dr. Moore Dickens, Batum Peter, Trevor Zedrek, allies Dr. John Karuhanga, others between June 2023 and July 2025 conspired together to commit a felony of obtaining money by false related to the trial received justice of Miss TNA Africa.
In the offences, prosecution alleges that Mulyansaka Charles, Wotomo Peter, Twebaze Drake, alias Dr. John Kaluhanga, and others still at large between October 2023 and December 2023 in Kampala City with intent to defraud, obtained money worth US dollars 75,929 from Housing Finance Bank in Intinda branch from Justin Strokes by falsely pretending that it was registered his company TMA Africa Pty Limited in Uganda, whereas not. Prosecution also alleges that the accused also obtained money by false pretense on 3rd January 2024 in Kampala City with intent to defraud Justin Strokes by false pretense, purporting that it was payment for the pre-qualification fees to the Ministry of Works and Transport for the contract award, whereas not. After charge, they all pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences. Prosecution told court that inquiries are still ongoing and asked court for more time. The accused were not ready to apply for bail. This left Chief Magistrate Nona Kais with no option but to adjourn the case to 29th October 2025 for mention of the case. The accused were further remanded to Ruzira Government Prison. Meanwhile, the hearing of the case on account of forging medical documents to grant bail to Kampala Land Board Chairperson David Balonde Mufrops. This followed failure by the prosecution to disclose the required documents to the defense legal team. The case was adjourned to 13th December 2025. For the hearing of the case, David Balonde's bail was further extended. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nance Subuga, UBC News.
Works of Gulu University Constituent College of Agriculture, Moroto works stand at 28% completion. The chairperson, Constituent College Task Force, Dr. Sidonia Angom Ocheng, told UBC TV that the university will conduct special admissions for the first cohort of students in January next year. President Yoweri Museveni is expected to lay the foundation stone alongside during his campaign trail in Karamoja sub-region.
The construction works of Gulu University Constituent College of Agriculture, Moroto, is at 28% and 9 billion shillings has been used of the 39 billion shillings. The Constituent College Task Force and Moroto district leaders toured the site to prepare for the laying of the foundation stone by President Yoweri Museveni.
Now we are doing the second floor, which we are almost done with casting of the slab. That brings us to about a total accumulation of 28% project progress. We have out in progress, like I told you, 16 months is where to be about 45%. It's a repeated up, but on the upper floor, they are lecture rooms.
Okay.
Yeah. Then on the other front, on the other side, that's where you have the library and you have the cafeteria.
We have advanced to the tune of 9 billion, implying we still have a shortage of 30 billion for this project to be completed.
It is 6.8 billion. And normally, we plan on the 6.8 billion to put into construction.
The Constituent College Task Force Chairperson, Dr. Sidonia Angom Ocheng, said the university will begin admitting students in January next year, although there is still shortage of funds.
We have a special admission for students in the Bachelors of Agriculture in January. We shall have a special admission for Moroto. And that is when we shall have now students and learning and teaching will start. Of course, with the National Council for Higher Education visiting the site and then giving us an approval for us to start teaching and learning. We have 2 programs to be adopted from Gulu University, that is Bachelor of General Agriculture. We shall also have another program in Environment and Natural Resource Management.
The construction works undertaken by National Enterprise Corporation has so far taken 16 months, leaving 19 months for completion of the works.
The quality of the work is really very good. It's really a very strong
sites, and also the hauling, as you can see, is really of high standard and quality. And that's the thing that makes you believe that what the president of this country has been talking about, giving a big contract to NEC, to UPDF, so that they can be able to produce a very good work.
The university construction was a presidential pledge to the people of Karamoja during his campaigns in 2016.
Newsnet takes another short break, but we'll be returning with the latest in business. Do stay with us.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotellaconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Coffee Spirit, Simba Gin. Coffee Spirit, Simba Gin. Check out the cup. SMS the code. Wamure virabo. Tulagamani. Karukasita wabuza.
Masaba maji. Masaba maji.
We call him Masavu near Premier Distilleries. Simply buy Coffee Spirit or Simba Gin. Check under the cap, send the code to 6688 and stand a chance to win border borders, tuk-tuks, cash, airtime, flat screens, mobile phones and a grand prize of 50 million Uganda shillings. This promotion is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Have a look now at the latest in business. Uganda has commemorated World Standards Day to honor experts who develop international standards. The day raises awareness about standardization in promoting global progress, innovation, and sustainability. Dennis Sigoa has more.
The Deputy Secretary General of the International Standards Organization, Silvio Dulinsky, has underscored standards in everyday life. He commended Uganda for its efforts to improve standards of locally manufactured products while ensuring imports meet quality benchmarks.
Yesterday I visited the facilities of UNBS here in Kampala, and I have to say I was very impressed. Like I've been visiting laboratories and the facilities of our members around the world for several years. And all the equipment and the processes and the caliber of the professionals that really have a world state-of-the-art way of operating really gave me a very strong impression about the capabilities of Uganda and UNBS to support the strategic objectives of the country to further increase the economy and the social development.
Dulinsky encouraged Uganda to leverage on ISO's technical support to further strengthen its national standards framework and enhance the competitiveness of Ugandan products on the global market.
What we are working with UNBS is about developing then the certification processes that are more efficient and a lower cost for the companies, both to implement the standard as well as to achieve the certification.
He acknowledges that in many developing countries, meeting ISO standards and obtaining certifications is still a challenging and resource-intensive process.
But then we tend to face some challenges. From your own perspective and your experience, what are those main challenges that face our exports from Africa?
Oh,
And how do we fix those gaps?
I think that for Africa to be able to increase their exports for the world, it's very important to make the economies competitive. It's like and be able to invest in infrastructure that will enable the country to export at competitive costs. For that, you need stable environments that allow for investments at a large scale. Standards are a small but very important part of that puzzle. Standards alone will not solve the capital markets challenges of Africa. It's like but they play an important role there by providing clarity and a solid technical basis for all the stakeholders in the process.
Dulinski's visit to Uganda is expected to yield tangible benefits for both ISO and Uganda in advancing sustainable standards development and improving global competitiveness. Dennis Igoa for UBC.
Now, Housing Finance Bank has achieved ISO 27001-2022 certification, a globally recognized standard for information security management. Mike Kamau of Stati Trust awarded their certificate, commending HFB's robust security posture.
Not only in keeping the standard. Now that Housing Finance Bank is ISO 27001 certified, the challenge, experts say, now lies not only in keeping the standard alive, but in continuously improving personal capacities and operational discipline.
Your board is asking you, how do I make sure that I can guarantee the returns? So ISO standards become a pathway to do that. And how ISO standard works is that it gives you a framework that you can then be able to say, we have checked against best practices and we are compliant with best practices.
This milestone has been attributed to strong management and strategic leadership, which are committed to protecting client data through strict internationally aligned security protocols.
If we all can attest and agree that we live in an information age and a lot of what banks offer to our customers is all around technology, around information, around data, then the safety of that information becomes important to any stakeholder, to a customer, to a regulator. And that's why we, from a governance perspective, beyond the whole setup, said we must subject ourselves to international, to global standards.
Rigorous annual audits are required to maintain certification, and there is a necessity for continuous training and vigilance across the bank.
You've been published in the global database for ISO, so you're actually in the club for real. Yeah. And the good thing about ISO is you're certified once and you're recognized everywhere. So across the globe, anybody, you are part of the club that is now the ISO. So whether somebody was certified in US, UK, Africa, you're all equal. There's no bigger ISO than the other one. So if somebody say the ISO 27 certified, you're also equally there. So that's where you've gone.
Annual audits will ensure transparency and proactive risk management going forward. With ISO 27001-2022, Housing Finance Bank reinforces its commitment to providing trusted, secure banking and establishing a new benchmark for financial services in the country. Wadulo Arnold Mark, UBC News in Kampala.
And that story brings us to the end of this first edition of News Tonight. Thank you so much for having kept us company. On sign language, it has been Elizabeth Nakakoni and I'm Rukidi Kiijanangoma wishing you a blessed night. But if you can, please be with us at 10 p.m. for our final bulletin of the day.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Whenever I eat chips and chicken. Hi,
Sophie. How are you?
I'm fine. Bobby, whenever I eat chips and chicken, I feel stomachache, joint pain, and body weakness.
My dear, go to MX Nutrition Center and learn the best food for your body and get treatment according to your blood group.
Are you sure?
Yes.
By the way, do you know your blood group, genotype, and how much you need to exercise? Come to Timex Nutrition Center for professional advice on how to manage your health and immune boosting. At Timex, we treat diseases like diabetes, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, pressure, and many more. For details, find us at our headquarters in Kampala on Nasa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor. We also have a branch in Barara, or call us on 0758 819952 or 0778 288361. Timex